Jalaja Miss, did you started the offline session for CBSE?
Sir, pardon me, clarity la kekkunnailla.
Yeah, did you start the offline session for CBSE? That's my question.
Start the offline session?
Yeah, started offline session for CBSE, whether you started or not.
Resource class, ano, sir? Yes, sir.
Yes.
I attended one in Thiruvananthapuram lately. On vacation, I did one.
Okay. That is PR resource person's workshop or?
No, sir. I just did a resource class on value education for teachers over there.
Okay. That's great.
Yeah.
Any difference post-COVID, after COVID?
Really hard to catch the attention, sir.
Yeah. Now the screening space, everyone's attention span is reduced.
That is, sir. It was a one-day session.
And immunity also.
Exactly. It was a one-day session, sir, and close to 80 participants were there. But the crowd was very lively, and so the session went well. Even though the initial...
But we cannot sit in 1 hour or 1.5 hours also. Nowadays, it's hectic.
Exactly. That is also a point, sir.
But it makes many difference, online to offline.
Sir, I enjoy more offline than online. Where actually you can get the vibe of the crowd who's sitting in front of you.
Yes, everyone.
Yes.
That's the teacher's point of view. The teacher will be a teacher whether it is offline or
offline. That's it.
Interacting, communicating,
exactly.
discussing. Jalja Miss, every day is our session. We are giving a task to the participants initially.
Okay.
Those who are good in singing can recite a prayer song for us.
Okay, sir.
So, from English group, Maths group, it's went well and wonderfully. Some non-sisters and teachers contributed for the session. So I'm waiting for the fabulous audience of science group who is going to recite a prayer song before the session. So
I'm
now
really excited.
Now the mic is over to resource person. Resource person can motivate the participants for the same.
I can see a few familiar names over here. I don't know whether I can just motivate them or not. I'm very sure just one of you will just unmute their mic and just sing us a prayer song.
It's also a part of experiential learning.
Exactly.
Any science teacher. So I can say to other session also. So previously the science teachers also done wonderfully beginning the session. They have to perform well. No, I have to inform to others also. So it's the time to prove yourself, my dear science teachers.
100% support, sir. So somebody will be there to start, as sir said, with an experiential learning.
And ultimately, you are the real stars because generating scientific temper among the students, that is the real education. Whether it is whether it is maths, whether it is language, whether it is any other disciplinaries, ultimate aim of education is developing a scientific temper. That is the development of a nation also depends upon the science. Am I correct or not?
Exactly. 100%.
So you are the real heroes, my dear science teachers. Someone voluntarily come up and say, unmute and say that I will recitate a prayer song. They pin drop silence. Why?
Anybody,
Please
yes,
unmute and say
anybody
that
can
I
unmute their
was
mic.
with the bird. Four lines is enough.
Anybody can unmute their mic and just give us a very godly, pleasant prayer song.
Let me check the participants list.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Rekha ma'am.
Okay, sir.
Are you ready
Sir.
for reciting a prayer song?
Sure, sir. It's the first
Wonderful.
time I'm. Okay. Okay, sir.
Introduce
we see you, ma'am?
You are from?
I'm from Ernakulam, Muachivara.
Okay. Which school,
I'm
ma'am?
working at St. Thomas Public School, Muachivara.
Great. I know your principal. He is my friend also.
Toby Joseph Anthony, sir.
Yes. I think he attended a session with us in APP, Annual Pedagogical Plan session at Kottayam.
Yeah, okay, sir.
I think so.
Yeah, okay, sir. Thank you. Let me pray. Okay, sir.
Yeah, wait, ma'am. Sharp 7 o'clock, we can start the session. So 7, you can start the prayer song.
Yeah,
we
sure,
can,
sir. Sure,
we
sir.
can
Thank
for
you,
another
sir.
4 more minutes.
Yeah, sure, sir.
I appreciate
Rekha ma'am, please.
I appreciate your enthusiasm, ma'am. Congratulations, a wonderful effort.
Thank you,
Jalaja
sir.
miss,
Thank
over to you. You can. Jalaja miss,
Yeah.
please.
Rekha ma'am, please do just switch on your video. We do want to see you while you're just singing this song for us.
Jalajam is resource person and the host with the same color dress. Why? How it was happened? It's
Sir,
a
I think
coincidence.
you possess every science aptitude, sir. Your observation skills are excellent.
But my SSLC science mark is very pure, ma'am. And maths too. My maths. I always like to be a language humanities subjects.
So every student has their brain wired in different ways. So probably
Absolutely.
whichever wiring you get, you be the best. That's it.
Okay. No, up to 7th standard, I scored 100 out of 100 for maths. But 8th onwards, my maths teacher is, and my maths teacher and mine chemistry is not properly worked. That's a real problem. So I hate that subject from 8th onwards, though I scored less mark in maths. No, that's also a real part. Once a student loves the teacher, he or she may loves the subject also.
Exactly. That is a real point. Yes.
Yeah, I think ma'am, we are about to start. Be ready and please unmute your audio and video, Reha ma'am. Srimati Reha, she is representing St. Thomas School, CBC School, Muatipura. On behalf of each and everyone assembled over here, she is going to recitate a prayer song for us. Reha ma'am, over to you. You can start the prayer song.
Okay, thank you, sir, for your warm welcoming. Lead kindly light, amidst encircling gloom, lead me on. The night is dark, and I am far from home. Lead me on. Keep down my feet, I do not ask to see the distant sea, one step enough for me. Lead kindly light, amidst encircling gloom, lead me on.
Thank you, Rekha ma'am. It's a wonderful, lovely prayer song. And as you said, lead kindly light. Me also a Thomas, a former student of St. Thomas College, Pala. So it's our prayer song also. I studied all my schoolings until my graduation to St. Thomas College. So St. Thomas School and College. So this prayer song is laying down my memory lane. So it's very, very much close to my heart. Thank you very much.
Okay,
Thank you so much from my side too, Rekha ma'am.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you for a very good start.
Oh, yes, absolutely correct. So, good evening to all. I saw a comment in the chat box. I can't hear. So, for us, it's not a problem. There is no technical problem. Kindly check your mic or check your connectivity, dear participant. So, for us, the prayer song and everything, communication, everything is audible between us. Okay. So, you may please cross check your connectivity or your device sound. Okay, so good evening to all. Today's resource person, Srimati Jalaja. Okay, fine. Srimati Jalaja Suni, teacher, Excelsior English School, Kottayam, CBC resource person for value education and many other subjects. On behalf of each and every science participants assembled over here. First of all, let me welcome Jalaja Miss, today's resource person for the session. Ma'am, please.
Thank you, sir. Thank
As you know that,
Thank you so much.
Central Sahodaya Conclave Kottayam and Council of CBC Schools of Kerala (CSCK) proudly organizing webinar series phase 2 for the different subjects for secondary, senior secondary teachers and all the stakeholders of the CBSE community. So today we are decoding the question paper and marking scheme for grade 10 science. As you know that CBSE is already scheduled the board examination on, which will commence on February 15th onwards. So more than days. So it's a real discussing about the question paper and discussing about the important areas of the subjects. On behalf of a fruitful and wonderful one, effective one, you can feel to interact with the resource person through the chat box. If any doubt, if anything is there, you can freely communicate through the chat box. You can feel to use the chat box, or you can raise the hand or unmute the mic and ask the clarification. I know personally she is the one among the most effective resource person with us. Always she is dealing many other disciplinary subjects, and especially dealing with the science. She is more energetic. Am I correct, ma'am? It's your passionate subject also. Okay.
I'll try to meet up with your expectations, sir.
So you can. On behalf of Central Sahodaya School Conclave and the Council of CBSE Schools Kerala, we are really thank our technical partner, Insight E. Insight E is a company, is a service provider for the schools, the educational institutions in different platforms. Insight is providing holistic progress card, 360-degree progress card, teachers assessment, ERP software, evaluation, and many other disciplines. Representative Insight E today be with us, the managing director of Insight E, Mr. Shuhaib. Let me welcome Shuhaib also. Shuhaib, please.
Thank you, Ranjit sir.
Fine. So, as you know that it's a team effort. Many persons are behind us. The technical team, Insight E, resource persons, and our patrons, the Council of CBSE Schools of Kerala delegates, and the Central Sahodaya School Conclave delegates, in charge, patrons, everyone. On behalf of each and everyone, let me welcome the team behind us, and let me welcome the participants also. Jalamis, now the session is open for you. You can take away. The platform is open for you. The red carpet welcome to you, ma'am. Please.
Thank you so much, Ranjit sir. A big shout out and my big hats off to all those educators over here. I know that you're all tired, waiting for a very relaxing weekend. And thank you for being here, attending the session. Hope it turns out to be fruitful to you. I'm so excited and happy to be this part of this huge project undertaken by Sir, which is Transforming the Transformers Phase 2, which deals with every nook and corner of what a teacher needs. They have been doing this for quite a long time. And I'm so humbled and privileged to be a part of the team so far as far as now. Dear educators, I just want to tell you one thing. Please don't consider this as a training session. Do consider this as an interactive session. I'm waiting for many, many ideas to come my way. And I know that some ideas is going to come your way. Any doubts that you have, please interact then and there through the chat box. And if you want to deal and talk to me later, we will be giving you the last 10 minutes of our training session for an open discussion with you, teachers. Okay, so let me start the session. This is what I have been asked to do, and I will be privileged to. Hope you can all mute their mics. Please check your mics and just mute your mics. Thank you so much. Decoding science question paper in the secondary level. We will be dealing with grade 10 mainly, but this affects a grade 9 class as it is a pre-board class also. So whatever strategies or whatever ideas that we are discussing in the session, that will be applicable to grade 9 too. So any teacher who is teaching in those classes too can please kindly ask their doubts when the session is going on. Before starting the session, I know you are all science teachers. So let me just propose a question for you. Just want to test your competency, how far you are competent. Then challenge but still, I just want to check your competency. This is the first question for you. You are in a race and you pass the person in the second place. What place are you now? I am expecting for replies in the chat box. You are in a race and you pass the person in second place. What place are you now? Dear teachers, I'm waiting for all the chats, and many chats are coming my way. Okay. Okay. Lots of first and lots of second places are coming down. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I feel so happy to get so many responses on the way. So let me read that question one time for you. You are in a race and you pass the person in second place. രണ്ടാമത് ഓടുന്ന ആളെ നിങ്ങൾ പാസ് ചെയ്തെങ്കിൽ നിങ്ങളുടെ പ്ലേസ് എന്താണ്? ആൻസർ ഇസ് നിങ്ങൾ സെക്കൻഡ് പ്ലേസിലോട്ടാണ് വരുന്നത്. So those who answered the second place, big applause to them. And those who didn't answer, no problem. At least your brain is functioning. I know that you're tired. You may be in your kitchen. You might be on your sofa. Doesn't matter. Okay. So let's question number 2. This is yet another chance to prove you. Okay.
Ma'am, shall I tell you one thing? Ma'am, many non-Keralite participants are here. So they don't know anything about the Malayalam. So if you use the Malayalam words in between, they are it's really.
Oh, sir. Okay. I didn't get that idea. I'll just certainly stick to that. No problem. Thank you, sir. Okay. Here goes the second question. How can you go 10 days without sleep? This is the second question for you. Okay. It's high time that you grease your brain. Okay. How can you go 10 days without sleep? I'm waiting for the answers in the chat box. Chinjum is super. Okay. Okay. Exactly. Okay, good. Okay. Now our brain has started functioning, isn't it? Okay. Not possible. Okay. Saija Sukumar Mess, not possible. Sleep at night. Exactly. See the question. How can you go 10 days They've not asked you, you have a day and a night. So how can you go 10 days without sleep? Please sleep at night. You can go 10 days without sleep, but you have to sleep at night. Okay, please mute your mic. Thank you. Please look into your mute. Very busy household. Please mute your mic. Thank you. Okay, let's come to the next slide. Okay, this is the last slide for you. 2 fathers and 2 sons are in a car, yet there are only 3 people in the car. How? 2 fathers and 2 sons are in a car, yet there are only 3 people in the car. How? Okay. I know you are science teachers because your competency is so high that I can guess from the replies I'm getting. So proud of you, my dear educators. 100% real answer. One is father, one is grandfather, and the other one is grandchild. Thank to everybody out there who participated. Please, I know that many of you are in kitchen preparing for the dinner or watching TV. Please just make yourself available. Please pull out of your kitchen, come back. Let's discuss some things and let's go back. Thank you. Thank you so much for the response, teachers. One is father, one is grandfather, and one is son. Thank you. Okay. Dear educators, now let's move to the serious part of the session where I think sir has already told us about what do you mean by a curriculum in science. It's all about understanding and concept clarity. So let me introduce the next slide. So this is what CBSE curriculum aims at. CBSE curriculum in the secondary level. Okay. The secondary curriculum of CBSE deals with almost all the subjects. As you know, we have a lot of subjects. And what does they mean by the subjects? Through the introduction of the subjects, what all things are enabled? Communicate effectively. The students should have the ability to communicate effectively, analyze informations coming their way, then have informed decisions, then they should stick to the constitutional values. My highlight point is that which I've marked in the red thing, that recent CBSE curriculum is all about the development of 21st century skills where your student inside your class should feel independent, they should feel safe, they should be comfortable. Then also the board is requesting all the schools that they can align curriculum in such a way that children are more connected to it and employ their real life contexts. This is the beauty of any subject as teachers. See, they're not instructing a particular way by which you should teach a child. CBSE instructs that every school has the authority and the freedom to align curriculum in such a way that the children feel more connected, more happy, and they can apply whatever concepts they learn in your classrooms in their real life context. This applies to all the subjects, not only as science. This applies to every subject, every corner that the teacher or the school is covering in a particular academic year. Now, this is CBSE's science curriculum. Already, we much know about science aptitude, science attitude, science interest. All these are very, very familiar to us. What does they mean? CBSE science curriculum, what does it mean? It means we know that students should develop a scientific attitude. Why a scientific attitude? To improve their quality in life. So why they improve the quality in life? Dear educators, I just want to give a real example in this context. As you have read in the papers, and much awareness is going on from the government side regarding the drug addiction that is happening in students nowadays. So any science student who has a good amount of quantitative reasoning, whatever happens in their life, whatever happens in their life, will apply that reasoning quantity. Any person who proposes a duck to that particular individual, he will say no, because he senses that it contains foreign external chemicals which will harm the body. So any science that you teach should be used for improving the quality of life of a student. Okay, then it promotes the ability to engage with science issues. Then ideas of science to be utilized to become a very, 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 very reflective citizen, better citizen, to explain whatever around them scientifically, to trust that or not to trust, explain everything. They can evaluate everything scientifically, then again interpret and have data and evidence scientific. So this is what the CBSE science curriculum has advised for every teachers around you. Okay, now moving on. This is my simple point. Hope you can read the data. Yes, hope you can read the slide, everyone. Yes. Can you read the slides? Can I get a few amount of, cannot see the slide? No?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, hope you can see the slide. Can you see the slide? Thank you so much. For others who cannot see the slide and have a serious range problem, I think I can just read that slide for you. Suppose you passed a coconut plucking course with high rank and you were given a laminated certificate. Okay, so you're given a laminated certificate. Standing under a coconut tree with the same certificate will not cause the coconut to fall into your hands. You need to climb up the tree for plucking coconuts. The point is very, very simple. In a science class, giving too much theory, too much of written explanations or oral explanations is not going to help a child. Maybe the child will get a humongous amount of mark for the exam, but that is not going to count. You need to teach the child to apply the concepts, and that application is what CBSE bases on. So that is what the CBSE is meaning to do for all of you. They are requesting all the science teachers out there just to stop giving them huge amount of lectures, stop giving them a bundle of notes that is not going to help them. Please stop that. Just explain the concept and give them more application-based questions. So standing under a coconut tree with a good amount of certificate will not help you. That will not allow the coconut to fall into you. You just need to climb up the tree and efficiently and fruitfully you just pluck the coconuts. That is what CBSE demands. So theory doesn't go for science, miss. It is all for other language or whatever vivid subjects we have. And theory doesn't work for science at all. For science, concept clarity matters, application matters. I request Tulasi A. Rajapan, miss, to just unmute, just switch off her video, please. Thank you, miss. Tulasi, miss. Thank you. Hope you can hear me, miss. Please switch your video off. Okay. Now, as far as CBSE is concerned, as science teachers, these are the 6 core competencies you should look while you're teaching a chapter, while you are applying that chapter, while you're framing questions for your students. First core competency, apply science, apply the process of science. Then, second core competency, can they use that concept for quantitative reasoning? Third one, modeling and simulations. Fourth one, I can hear a lot of noise. I request all of you just. Thank you. Okay. So these are the core competencies of science as far as CBSE is concerned. Applying science, using science for quantitative reasoning, then using modeling and simulation, then tapping into this interdisciplinary nature of science, ability to communicate and collaborate with others, and ability to understand the relationship between science and society. These competencies should be looked upon seriously. Whenever you teach a chapter or a concept, your vision as a science teacher should be, will my child be able to apply the process of science? Will he be able to quantitatively reason any question that I give you? Will he be able to develop a model and then simulate? Then will he be able to project biology and chemistry into physics, or physics into biology and chemistry, whatever it is? Will he be able to communicate both literally as well as orally, or the concern points? And will he be able to understand the relationship between science and society? It is totally unacceptable for a science teacher to go to a class just for the sake of completing portions. Most of the teachers complain to me that completion of portions is taking time. They are stressed on the level of completion of portions. I can just suggest you 2 methods by which you can complete your portions effectively without a burden. Just avoid giving them lots of notes. Give just the concept clarity. Then give them questions for application. Automatically, your students will come into track. Okay. Now, this is what nowadays things have transformed. Earlier, it was just knowledge acquisition. When we were studying in our days, knowledge acquisition was the primemost thing. And nowadays, it is not knowledge acquisition. How far you can apply the knowledge, that is what matters. Second one, in our times, we used to write whatever the teacher has told us to write, right? Whatever she has given us notes, we used to study and mug up all that and write for the exams. Now, the board demands us that no such thing should be made mandatory. The student has the right to develop multiple strategies to answer a question. So that is what they have given, multiple objective and subjective measures. Next is proxy assessment. Proxy assessment in the sense, all in the base of one type of assessment. Now it is performance-based assessment. There is a lot of performance from the side. Some is good in writing, some is good in labs. So there is performance-based assessment, which is very good. And next is norm-based reference. Norm-based is where your marks are compared with other children. And nowadays it is not norm-based, it is criterion-based, where your marks are not compared with, children's marks are not compared with others. He has or she has her own intelligence to just carry on whatever they have. That's it. So this is a very, very good information that has been projected out by CBSE. I think this has been going for the last few years. But as far as I know, few teachers take note and they're not ready to just move from their traditional style of teaching where you go to the class, give them whatever on the board, then give them notes, ask them to study the notes. You ask them to write the notes in the exam. If the student actually answers in a multiple way, no marks for the student. Whatever I teach you, whatever as notes I give you, you just write that. So CBSE is totally against it, and it has a strong proposition for all the science teachers. Please consider application in science. Please appreciate students' brain to write all those multiple strategies for a problem, and don't assess a student by comparing with him with others. He has his own brain, his own capacity, whatever it is. So always have a criterion-based reference. That is the biggest throw from CBSE towards us. So please consider this. So these were all the general measures regarding the science curriculum we follow. Now, a general outline into the syllabus proposed by, as hope all of you know, especially the 10th grade teachers. Unit 1, this is what the mark weightage is supposed to be. There may be variations. Chemical substance and nature, which includes the first 4 chapters of chemistry. altogether a mark of 23 to 25 can come for in the sample paper, it's close to 24. So up to 25 marks can be given to that unit 1. World of living, biology chapters, natural phenomena, lens and all those chapters, 12 marks. Effects of current electricity, magnetism. Then there is an optional called natural resources chapter. And as you know, it's very much known to all of you. The entire marks and the total comes out of 80. Then this is a session I just want to show you in this. There is another session called periodic assessment, where all the schools are highly strict in setting timetables and giving periodic tests, but the whole score of periodic assessment for the entire year is just 5 marks. Then subject enrichment, which should include a practical. Hope all the teachers are doing the subject assessment practical work very well in the schools, because science without practicals is unbelievable. You know, it can't be believed. Any science student should be given a practical lab experience. And CBSE has a set of practical ideas for both 9th grade as well as 10th grade. I hope every single teacher out here, I know that you are very much aware of how lab work is important in science, must be dealing with science, and that gives a total of 5 marks. Portfolio in the sense, all those assessments, whatever work the student does by himself, the project that you give, the assignment that you give should be included as portfolio. And next one is multiple assessment. Other than the PA test, suppose you're conducting a quiz in class, suppose you're doing a worksheet in class, suppose a surprise test is done in class, those all can be considered as subject assessment, multiple assessment. So overall, the mark is 20. Almost all the schools are very, very strict regarding periodic assessment, but I don't know how far it is regarding subject enrichment, portfolio, and multiple assessment. If you want to bring up a student with an actual scientific temper, our board asks us to go through the other 3 factors very seriously. One is their practical work, how observational they are in the lab, how much experiment they can do, how far they can evaluate and assess things. That is very important. And portfolio, not downloading something from the Google, just give them a diagram on the board, tell them to create an idea on the diagram, tell them to create something science-related concept on the diagram. They can all add on to their portfolio. And that is 5 marks. So that all skills are developed in a child. Next is multiple assessment. Please don't stick to the normal pen and paper test. That is not exciting. Only the brighter ones or the good ones in the class can do that. But really a set of MCQs or a surprise test or a quiz, maybe that can also crack some other people who can't just deal with all the theory writing. So please go for the multiple assessment test as well. Those are very important. Rounding up of mark at the end of the annual year, giving each child 20 on 20 or 18 on 20 will not do. That is not fair enough if you're teaching science. Ultimately, you are a teacher. What you want to bring about in your child is a true science temper. And if you're a serious teacher, you know that you have to build up a certain competency in your child. So internal assessment should be dealt with seriously. And this has been stressed on by CBSE board, I think a number of times. Now, the typology of questions that has been included so far, all are very familiar, especially the 10th grade teachers are very familiar. I hope the 9th grade and the 8th grade teachers can also frame questions in the same board pattern as that of the 10th grade. So very short answer questions, including multiple choice. A number of practice sessions should be given to the child to deal with objective type questions. As you know, there is no half mark for an objective type question. Either it is 0 or it's 1. So a small negligence from the child can be very, very expensive. It can cost an enormous amount of mark. But as you know, that objective type and assertion reasoning are 20 questions. So 20 marks will be coming from the area. Short answer questions, which are 2 marks. Long answer question, 3 marks and 5 marks. I don't want to term that question as long answer questions, because even though the amount of mark is 3 and 5, hope all the teachers have seen the question paper. Every 5 mark question or a 4 mark question or a 3 mark question is again subdivided into 3 or 4. That means each question will have a maximum mark of 2 or 1. Isn't it not? You have a 5-mark question. You have 4 divisions under that. Each 4 division has 2 mark or 1 mark. So what does it mean? CBSE doesn't want to promote any more explanation from a student. The valid point associated from that concept is required by CBSE. So that is why we are stressing the fact that please do not take too much lecture or don't burden your children with too much notes inside the classroom. It is not fair. They're not getting time after completing your notes. And please don't stress and ask your students to just mug up all those notes and write exactly whatever notes you have given them. That is not fair. That is not science. That is even not science spirit. That is just history or language or whatever that you're promoting. History cannot be, dealt with multiple strategy. History is history. There is a fact based on history. You have to learn French Revolution in so and so dates. You can't change the dates. You can't change the points regarding French Revolution. So long answer questions are long answer questions because they carry so much marks. But please consider them as subdivisions, and subdivisions requires concept clarity. Those teachers who have attended CBSE evaluation camp for grade 10 or 12 might actually know what I'm meaning by this. Every camp has a scoring sheet where the marking is based just on the keyword. None of the teachers are behind the explanations or the literature or the whatever skill the child possesses. So whenever you train a child inside a class, exams are around the corner. It's already October end. November is about to start. In most of the schools, model exams and pre-board exams are about to start. Please consider this point. Train them with concepts. Train them with good applications. And no more explanations are required. Don't ask them to write an essay regarding a concept. Ask them to just cut through the concept as straight. Fourth one is a source-based or case-based question, which is interesting. In fact, you can create a lot of source-based and case-based questions in biology or physics or chemistry. And it has subdivisions, as you know, you might have seen the paper, 4 marks. And CBSE is very much inclined in giving internal choice for almost 33% of the questions. The ratio may vary, but almost there is an internal choice for almost all the questions out there. So these are the typology of questions. Okay. Now, as exams are around the corner, dear teachers, this is the highlights that should aim upon. Okay. The first highlight is knowledge. Their knowledge and their ability to use that knowledge. Just see if it is perfect. Just see if all the equations are learned well. All the formulas in physics are learned well. Just see in biology, all the diagrams are thorough. Have they attained the knowledge of that chapter? And are they able to use that knowledge? That is the first highlight as a teacher you should look upon henceforth. A process or product, which means, can the student reason with a good valid point? Okay. Can he, suppose you're putting a question in science, can he give an apt reason, not knocking around the corner? He can give a good reason based on whatever is taught. So that is called process or product. So whenever you frame a question for the pre-board, it is not apt to copy the question from some other site and just copy paste it onto your WordPad. That is not fair. Try to create a reason or a question by your own, where actually your name should be, first one is to check the knowledge of the student, to check the reasoning skill of the student. Third one, communication of ideas. Is your child able to express the points in a very orderly manner, or just in a staggered or, confused way? No. So that is called communication, ability to communicate, ability to just put forward an argument or write a reason for this, whatever it is. So is the communication skill of your child high? In science, communication doesn't mean writing an essay or a whole page of note. No. In science, communication means, is your child able to write the set of points in an orderly and well good way? That is called communication. And last and least, very, very important point, which is my favorite, convergent thinking or divergent thinking. From all the data he has collected, can he come to a conclusion? That is called convergent thinking. Or regarding a problem, can he think in multiple ways? That is called divergent thinking. The questions that you put for the pre-board or for the practice sessions should be in such a way that it should be testing all these things. These are the things that CBSE has proposed in their blueprints. So every framework of question that is done in CBSE's paper, they are concentrating on science. In science, they are concentrating on the following process: knowledge of the student, their ability to use, the reasoning skills of students. Are they able to communicate their ideas well in a very orderly way? And do they have this convergent thinking and divergent thinking? The problem is, dear teachers, this doesn't come when a child looks into the question paper. This comes when you go for the practice and go straight for the application questions, give them a good set of practice. Then only a student in your class can confidently attend all the board exam. By confidently attending all the board exams, I'm not meaning that 100% of your students will be getting 100 marks. No. That is not able. That is impossible. So what I'm meaning that if a student in your class is capable of getting maximum 70%, he will get 70% for sure if you're training him like this. If a student is very much dyslexic or a slow learner in a specially able child in your class, no problem. He will safely pass through the exam through any of the parameters. Doesn't matter. And if a student is a sure shot A1 holder or a 98 or 100 marks student in your class, he is or she will surely get 100%. If you fine tune them in such a way that, and if your revision process is in such a way that you are just focusing on the following process. Hope I'm clear. Hope I'm audible. Okay. I think all of you have an awareness on the CBSE question paper. I think most of 100% of the teachers might have gone through the question paper. And this data has been followed by CBSE for the past few years. This is not a new data. The competencies or the type in which questions are asked comes in the following way. The questions will be asked to demonstrate their knowledge and understanding. I think I have already shown that slide for you. Then 22% of the questions will be application based. I think mostly that will be from physics, mostly. I can see a hand being raised. If it is a serious doubt, I think I have the last 10 minutes, ma'am, to just communicate with you. Or if it is a serious doubt, you can just communicate in the chat box. Okay, thank you. Then next is formulate, analyze, evaluate, and create. That comes to close to 32%. So demonstrate knowledge and understanding. Mostly those questions are from biology, where the student need to have a certain study mode, just familiarizing all the terminologies, diagrams. Those questions can be from biology and some part from chemistry and a very few questions from physics. Physics and chemistry mostly concentrates on the last two competency. One is application of knowledge and concept. 22% of the questions, most on an average, rough, will be coming from that area. And analyzing, that is a higher order questions. Evaluating, creating, formulating, all those things will be 32%. So that gives a total ratio of 100%. So this is how your question paper framework is going to be. So this means that by merely learning just definitions or theory will not do. As actually you can see these two competencies altogether, it rounds up to 54%. So 54% of the questions in your CBSE paper will be application and concept based. So that is a real challenge. So teaching them definitions, okay, good, they can pass the exam. But if you want an exemplary performance from your student side, no, that will not do. Please concentrate on application side. Practice, give them questions, help them how to survive all these questions, formulate, analyze, whatever you can do. Yeah, I know you're all skilled teachers. Please go through that. Okay. Now, there are various verbs related to demonstrate knowledge and understand. I know that this slide is so much familiar to most of the teachers because many of you know what it means. Demonstrate knowledge or understanding, what does it mean? You have seen a number of questions asking state the law, name, list, identify, define. All those your below average students can also deal with, right? All those questions come under the competency level, demonstrate knowledge and understanding. Then application-based question, calculate, illustrate, show, adapt. That is on the tougher side, which your child needs your help. That is where your child needs your help. The first competency, your child just needs your little push. He will learn. He will definitely learn for the board exam. Application, a sure short help from your side is needed. Then second, last one, that is a higher order, interpreting, analyzing, comparing, contrasting, examining, evaluating, discussing in his own ideas, communicating well all those points, constructing a diagram and all that. That is also an area where the teacher, as a science teacher, you should support your students. I'm not focusing on chemistry or biology or physics, but I know that all the concepts that I'm just discussing now, all the subject experts out there know how to do that. You can't teach a lens chapter without a mirror formula or a lens formula. You know that there is a problem that from that area. You can't skip that teacher, that portion without a lens diagram or a mirror diagram. That will come for the exam. Biology, you can't skip certain terminologies, can't skip certain definitions. So that all come under demonstrate knowledge. Chemistry, you can't skip equations. You can't skip observations. You can't skip some concepts. Everything is going to come for the exam. Give reason, account. That all comes for chemistry. So this is what, as exams are around the corner, if you have started revising, giving revision to your students, or are yet to give, no problem, whatever it is, please focus on where to aim at and where to crack that difficulty level of your student. That is our aim. It will help with your job. You will be at ease if you have a good planning of how to do it. And cannot be done by all the set of students. We know. There are average students, above average, and slow learners. No problem. Slow learners can at least write the formula, right? Average can just do the substitution. You help them. They can come up, and above average students will certainly crack it. So their levels can be extended by you. So you don't have to stress yourself. Please have a plan what to do on a chapter, and that you know that these all questions are coming for the chapter. Okay, there is no meaning beating around the bush. There is no meaning at all. Okay. And this is a serious request from my side to all the teachers. Do not overburden your child with too much information. That is certainly a no-no. Only 2% students in your class are interested to grab that information. Others are not, and they will not. Okay, so do not just look into the amount of children in your class, just understand their vibe. Are they too good in absorbing? Are they too much good in absorbing that extra information from your side? Because from your side, you are doing so much to get that extra information to the children. I just appreciate and hats off to all the teachers who are doing it. But in some days or some ways, it is turning out to be disastrous, which totally harms that subject and will take that interest out of that subject. So do not burden them with too much information. Then please avoid giving pages of notes. Please avoid giving pages of notes. That is not helpful when you come to science. Instead, what you do, incline into the content. Okay, when you have a chemistry paragraph, incline into the main equation of that paragraph, incline into what that equation means, what type of reaction it means, what type of outcome from that reaction happens, what all informations or observations are attained from the reaction. This does not need pages of notes. This only needs an inclination into the content. So this is a serious proposition from my side. I don't know how far it is acceptable to all of you. So please incline into the content. Provide concept clarity. And for that, too much of lecturing is not needed. And give examples bar application. Children love to hear examples. They want to apply whatever concepts they have learned. They want to know the application. What is used? What is the implication of this reaction, or what is this organ upon? What happens to this organ if I am taking this and this? So whatever it is, provide concept clarity. And if you're applying this concept clarity with example and application, that is a beautiful thing, and your child will love to attend your class. So these are not CBSE proposed points. As a science teacher, looking on to the concern from the children and from the teachers too, these are my points from my side towards you. Please do not overburden with information. Avoid giving pages of notes. I'm not asking you to avoid notes. Avoid giving pages of notes. Incline into the content if you're not started to do those. So please do that, because the first, next coming 3 years, 3 months are very, very crucial. Then provide concept clarity when you're doing revisions or whatever it is. Okay, then these are some of the highlights regarding physics. Okay, all the physics teachers out there, very, very high experts on this. So in physics, concepts and formula-based questions are mostly asked in the exam. That is very, very evident. So students must be thorough with all the important formulas, and it should be in their fingertips. So that is a very, very important thing. Formulas and physics without formulas, you cannot even imagine. So make your student by heart all the formulas and apply it quickly for the exams. Okay. Practice numericals. This is the highest challenge when it comes to physics. Then there will be a lot of problems based on series and parallel combination of resistance. And of course, numerical problems on lens and mirror, that has been asked for, many years, past many years. That is in our question paper. Then diagrams of solenoid and bar magnet, and electric circuit diagrams, AC generator, lenses, mirrors, human eye, glass prism. These are all extended. Maybe there is a refined thing for this. These are all extended content I have developed. Image formation for both defected and correct vision. So image diagrams should be taught to your student. That is another area where the questions from physics are about to strike. Okay. Work on gripping the concepts of physics for both conceptual and numerical problems. Okay. Numerics and problems. I can see a lot of messages. Sir, I think Usha ma'am, I said I just wrote this as an extended topic. So just forgive me if I've mentioned any topic which was deleted. I just wrote an extended session. That's it. Okay. Now, please concentrate on all these things when you're dealing with physics. And also, please do not neglect your NCERT book. Revise every example, exercise question, diagram, table, graph. You cannot omit all that. The ultimate Bible for any CBSE exam is your NCERT book. No other guides are allowed in the camp. That almost all the evaluators equally know. We don't take any just take our NCERT foolproof text into the camp, and the board will give us a scoring key by which we can do the calculation and all. So do not neglect NCERT book. Ask your student to thoroughly read NCERT book. And as I've mentioned here, and you're supposed to don't neglect any example or exercise question or diagram or table or graph. Okay. Then coming to biology. Students must practice diagrams like representation of reflex action. Again, there is an extended session from my side. Sorry if I'm pulling off any deleted portion. Don't be confused. Do not be confused. Okay, respiratory system, human brain, different parts of a flower, male, female, reproductive organ, etc. So diagrams are an integral part of biology. So ask your students to be there. Okay. Then thoroughly prepare Mendel's experiment and understand the traits inheritance chapter is there. I know that. Then complex terminologies in biology, ask them to memorize, write and study multiple number of times if they are writing and study, they can obviously understand all those complex terminologies, then understand the functions of different organisms, then okay, that's it. Then biology, the students must build a habit of drawing a neat and clean diagram while writing the answers. So all these things are not new. All the expert biology teachers out there know what is happening. In biology, the integral part is diagrams and all the terminologies and definitions. So prepare your students accordingly. Practice only makes them perfect. Bringing them down into a 3-hour paper quickly will confuse them, will make them bad. You cannot expect any type of performance from a student like that. So please focus on this. Okay, now coming to chemistry. Chemistry is considered to be the soft corner in a term of grade 10 science, because we have only very less marks coming from chemistry compared to biology and physics, and it requires a lesser time of preparation. But teachers, make your students write and learn equations. There is no cut short method by which you can instill those equations in your child's mind. Please ask them to assess the equation, write the equation, and memorize. Then only when it comes to paper, they can just reproduce it very safely and happily. Okay, then most of the questions, as you know, there will be questions from types of reactions. Almost all the chemistry teachers out there will know this. That is a compulsory question when it comes to CBSE. Then salt, acid, bases, and salts, lot of that commercial preparation, all those will be asked. Chemical formulas will be asked. Carbon and its compounds, it is a sure shot and a beautiful chapter, because those chapters, Jyoti Kunjuman Miss, I think you are supposed to, I know Miss that you're relaxing, happy to see you relaxing. Okay, then carbon and its compounds and its nomenclature. Please do take the nomenclature part really seriously, because 11th onwards, if they are pursuing science, they are anyway going to take up nomenclature. Okay, then conversion of compounds in a must, speed and accuracy is a highlight. So when it comes to chemistry teachers, these are the things to be noted. And a final tip on how to deal with your exams safely and smoothly. These are all not new, by the way. Okay, go through sample question papers, practice repeated question, practice, and practice. All your time for teaching henceforth should not be used in learning new concepts. Please help them practice as many questions as possible. Revise the syllabus. Please don't overdo the syllabus. They cannot handle overloaded information. Please revise the syllabus. Work more on application-based question. I hope you remember the slide where I showed you that application-based questions come to an estimate of 54% of your question paper. So just help your student how to deal with the application-based question. Then NCERT textbook is your ultimate guide and NCERT solutions. Okay. Now use flowcharts, notes, diagrams, whatever techniques you have, whatever innovative methods you have to memorize important topics. You are the most, talented educators out there. So I don't have to teach you these techniques for teaching science. You can use multiple technologies for keeping that data in your children's mind. Practice. Do not leave any single line. There is no topic like important, unimportant. There is nothing like that. Whatever the NCERT has provided you in the text is important. Any question can come from any corner of the text. So don't tell the student that this is important, this will come. Only those aspects should be given to those slow learner students who have the difficulty in assessing the MGR chapter. Okay. Revise all the physics formula, chemical reactions from chemistry, diagrams from biology, definitions from biology, solve all the model papers and work according to that pre-term exam. So this is all, that is all regarding whatever task has been assigned by Ranjit sir. So that is the end of the session. I think I am overbound.
Yeah, participants, you can feel to ask any doubts. Any clarification, any suggestions, you can feel to unmute and interact with the resource person. Yeah, let me tell you something regarding the e-certificate. As you know that nowadays, Google is restricting sending 100 mails per day. So we are able to process the 100 certificate per day only. So it means once last 2 weeks, we are continuously conducting sessions. So the first session commences on Saturday onwards. So we are sending 100 certificate per day each. The e-certification request and everything is per day session is overwhelming. So we cannot send multiple certificates per day. That is the reason that sending the delay for the certificate by end of this week or by next week, we will process all the certificates. That is the only thing I have to mention regarding certification. You can use others Google Pay or others payment system, no issue. Kindly mention the Google form. You are using the separate payment system, and the certification is for the particular participants. That's it. Any other suggestions, any other clarification regarding the session, you can feel to ask now.
So waiting for your queries. Hope I didn't go through all those doubts that has been proposed in the chat. Any teacher anybody, please feel free to ask your doubts.
Ma'am, one request in the chat box. Ma'am, please show the 10th standard syllabus slide once again.
It is not a syllabus slide, ma'am. That is just an outline of the portions that you have an onlook onto when exams are rounding the corner. Please just give an insight. That is not the syllabus for biology. If you want to show, if you want me to show that slide again, I'll certainly do that. Any doubts, any queries?
I think there is no doubts and queries. Only regarding deleted portions. That is the unending questions when the teachers are asking. Am I correct?
I saw a question regarding atmospheric refraction in physics asked by one of the teachers. Even though it is not mentioned in the syllabus as such, you can include it as a daily application of that physical procedure of refraction. Which atmospheric refraction is a phenomenon which we see in our daily life through the examples mentioned in the text. So I think there is, see, absolutely, there should be no doubt. You can just give a finite class or just a quantitative idea on how to develop that child idea on atmospheric refraction for your child. So it is not mentioned as a deleted portion, but I think it is a part of refraction. As it is a part of refraction, you can just take it, but don't put a heavy portion for that. Just take it lightly and give an idea for your student how to deal with the questions coming from that area. I think the teacher was asked it out. Hope it is okay.
Yeah, ma'am, on behalf of Central Sahodaya Conclave Kottayam and Council of CBSE School Kerala, we are very much fortunate you as the resource person for today's session. It's as the participants said, it's a qualitative and quantitative session. It's a really wonderful session and fruitful one, effective one. Really thanking you on behalf of all the participants and our Council of CBSE School, CSCK, and the Central Sahodaya School Conclave, ma'am. Thank you very much. We are expecting more sessions with you in future also. Yeah, you as you said in the beginning, you meet the expectations. I can agree. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for being a part of this session. Even though interaction was not there, but still, thank you so much for being a part of. A question regarding isomers of butane and pentane. That is enough. That is enough. You need to teach that only. That is more than enough. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.